Look over here.
Haha. Oh, wrong side. Sorry. Hello. Yeah, that's the right side.
There you go.
Muñecas Oli! Y bienvenidos a The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. And welcome to...
Look over here.
Our exclusive companion series where we are diving into the looks from episode 10 of season 2 of Drag Race Mexico. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. I'm finishing... I realized in the recap, I never actually said what I was drinking out of my new RuPaul mug. It was protein coffee. No one's surprised. But she's done now, so we are drinking water because hydration is of the essence of Hall. Shout out to Jade Essence Hall, who I got to see live for the first time this week at RuPaul's Drag Race Live. And when she was announced, I screamed.
I'm so jealous.
Love Jada. And she was
love Jada.
Love Jada.
So jealous. So jealous. Love Jada. Anyways, hola, I'm Eduardo, the Mexican representative of this podcast. I'm here to talk shit and get hit. I am finishing my energy drink. It still tastes like chemicals. I am still burning my insides. So lovely, wonderful, having a great time.
Love the chemical burn from the spiral from Trix Mattel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I am River, your Brazilian correspondent here on The Cup, and I am still drinking water out of my Woody Woodpecker. I was going to say mug. This is a cup. And I'm also burning on the inside, but for different reasons, because my country is basically burning right now. So there's a lot of toxic smoke in the air, so it's really nice, so I have to keep hydrated because I have no choice.
Love pollution.
I'm laughing out of nerves and desperation, so yes.
Oh,
love air pollution.
Every time I go to Mexico City, I'm like, oh, I am dying. I cannot breathe. Okay.
Great. I love it.
No, I mean, like, landowners are purposefully all burning land at the same time right now for some reason. So, yeah.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Very nice. Very
Love
demure.
when that happens. That happens here as well.
It happens here as well. But speaking of on fire, some of these looks were and a lot of them were not. So we're going to talk about the looks from this episode. Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we are here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. Make sure to check out the description below where you can find our audio podcast links, all of our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access, including early access to the Look Over Here episodes from the franchises we are currently covering. So, boom! La categoría es Luchadoras Exoticas. And first up, we have Leexa Fox and Jenary Fox.
He's very non-binary unicorn punk fighter, kind of. I love this.
Yes, go.
This was my second favorite of the night, and I love the concept and I love the execution. Some things could have been better, like I forgot her partner's name, Siri. City's thing was the zipper was like going down. It was when they turned around, it was like you could see that it was kind of going down a little bit, like small details, but not anything that kind of took me out of it. But like the judges said, this was not the focus of this challenge was not the outfits. It was more the presentation and the transformation and all of that. But for what it's supposed to be, which is like luchador outfits, it's not going to be something like big and dramatic and extravagant. So for what it is, I love. And the presentation was really good as well.
Yeah, I have to say, I think this was my favorite presentation, or one of my favorites, that's for sure. We talked about it in the review. I think this was the most fun that they've had on stage, like out of all of the pairs. And so that really brought it up for me. I think as a category, luchadors is going to bring like a lot of just kind of similar looks where it comes to like bodysuits and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I think this is one of the better executed ones. I love the hair and I love the presentation of this. And the presentation of this really brought it up for me. And also the messaging behind it really did something for me. I think Leexa had a really, really successful week, and I think she did a great job. I think Siri looks really good, and I think she did her like such a great service with showing off that body, that beautiful body that Siri has. She looks great, and I think she did a really good job.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like we all said in the recap, this was, I think, collectively our second favorite makeover of this week for all of the exact reasons that y'all mentioned. I do love that when approaching this category, she went non-binary with it. I think that was a really, really smart way to go about it, because as we said, luchadors tends to be more machismo, very masculine energy, and bringing some non-binary energy into it was really, really cool. Also, I will say the color palette of the non-binary flag really does like kind of lend itself to a luchador kind of aesthetic.
Mhm.
And I do love it here. The purple bodysuits with the black hair, with the yellow mohawk, I think all looks really cool together. The physical transformation as well of Sadie, I think, is really, really great. The makeup here is really good. Lexa's face does really translate well. It is a more simple makeup. I will say that, and I've said that kind of all season about Lexa's makeup, but it works for her, and it does work on other people because it is a lot more simple. It's very graphic, big eye, kind of more like smaller lip, less detail, but that does translate well in a challenge like this. So I wasn't mad at it whatsoever. Scores.
I gave it an 88.
I gave it a 90.
I gave them a 90.
Slay. Sharing the brain cell.
Yes. Next up, Horacio Potasio y Rodrigo Te Digo.
Mm-hmm. And I will tell you this. Like I mentioned for yeah. Like I said for Alexa, one of the things that I loved is that there's a concept behind it. Because exactly, I don't know which one of y'all said that the luchador outfit is very. We would expect all the outfits to kind of have a same or similar silhouette. There's not too much that can be done with that. So with it being such a specific category and it being so easy for everyone to kind of look the same or similar, I think the one thing that was necessary for this specifically was to have a concept, a story, something to say. And this is the one thing that I don't like about this look and presentation, is that it's not a bad look by any means. They actually look great, I think. But it says nothing about Horacio, about anything, really. I love the color palette. I love pink with orange. But like it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's cute. I think what was best translated was the makeup. I think the makeup translated into Rodrigo really, really well, to the point where I was like, oh, it's the same face. That's like the exact same face. So I think that was the most successful part of it. However, I think that when it comes to like the performance of it and really selling the look, it kind of fell short for me, because although it had like one of like a fine like performance of it, I think it was still kind of messy and not like super well rehearsed. And I think I agree with you, River. I don't think it has like anything to say, and so it doesn't really bring it up for me. I think she looks cute. I think it's the best way I can describe it is just cute. It's a good outfit. We talked about it in the review. Oscar Madrazo saying this is one of the most creative things we've seen on Drag Race. It's wild to me, but yeah, it's fine. It's a fine makeover, and if we had more people, she would have been absolutely safe. But I think she just needed more.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think I completely agree with you, Eduardo. I think the thing that translated the best was the makeup. And I love this makeup here because it is a little bit different for Horacio. I really like kind of this like this hanging winged liner that she did here. It looks really, really good on her. with kind of this like invisible cut crease and not really doing a brow. Like the makeup is the most interesting part of the look for me. And then the look is, like we all said, good and different for this category. It's a black bodysuit with a little thing over it and a mismatched shoe and a black glove and frizzy hair that needed to be teased better. Like that's what it is. We've seen Horacio in much better looks this season.
Yeah.
But it's still, the thing is, it's still not bad.
Oh no, I don't think anyone did that.
Like we said on the recap, to be fair with the girls, we didn't think that the makeover should have a theme because it makes it harder. So
I
just to make it fair,
yeah.
So
yeah. Scores.
Right. It's a sensible 74.
I gave it an 80.
I also gave it a 74 because I think it's just it's fine.
Yeah,
it's absolutely fine.
It's fine.
It's not the worst, which was Jenary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jenary Luzon. And here's the thing. Just like with Candy Muse said about Tina Burner not owning flames and red and yellow and orange, like it's not the fact that I'm not saying only Manila can do this type of hair because that's ridiculous. First of all, that's no. But it's the fact that this is a makeover challenge, and for the makeover challenge, I would expect the drag artist that is competing to try and make the other person look like they are part of their family. And this doesn't give me Jenary Bloom. Because here's the thing, if this was something that Jenary had done before, or if it was something that we knew that it was kind of her thing, I would have no problem with this at all. Besides the fact that Jenary's not wearing a luchador outfit as a dress, but we'll get to that. But like with the wig thing, it's just that to me. It's the fact that we never seen it before and it's supposed to be giving Jenary Bloom, and it's not. Unfortunately. But I do love the wigs, so it's kind of very confusing. But Jenary is wearing a mini dress, so it doesn't really fit the category. And also, like, there's no concept. It doesn't fit the category, and it doesn't say Jenary Bloom. So as much as they look good, it's probably my least favorite, I think. Kind of. I would say it is my least favorite.
Yeah, I will say it. This is my least favorite. I think Jenary just kind of missed on her own look more than anything. I don't understand why you would wear a mini dress to get on the ring. That doesn't make any sense. I don't really see Luchador when I see her. The makeup kind of like this kind of like blue thing that she has on her eye kind of gives it that vibe, but from the neck down, it's not it. And so it feels really weird because also her partner, which I think her name in drag was Manola Bloom, Manola does look like a luchador, and so it kind of felt weird. I also will say that about Manola's look, I think I needed more because it felt like the top was really good, but then the bottom just looks like a pair of like panties that she put on, and that's about it. I wish there was more to Manola's look, even though she does look like a luchador. So there's just things missing. It's just Jenary just doesn't look like a luchador. It doesn't give the category, and it's just not as well executed as I wanted it to be. So it's just, this is definitely the worst of the night for me. Definitely.
I was muted.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Muted.
There you go, babe. There you go.
Yeah, I agree. I do think this is my least favorite. I said it in the recap, and I'm going to elaborate on it here. It didn't seem like Jenary had thought that Manu was going to be a makeover option for her. And it just kind of feels like she just had to make something work. With that being said, though, I do love the way Manola looks. I actually think it's a really successful look. I think the corseting is good. It's a simple black panty and a blue kind of like knee-high situation, and I think it looks good. Now, if Jenary's revealed into something else, it would make sense. And or, here is the or. If she had walked around with one of those signs, like the round one, that would have sold it, because I think that is the energy she was trying to go for and just could not sell it in the way that she needed to. So unfortunately, I do think this is my least favorite combo of the night, but it comes with a lot of things that I actually think look really good. So, yeah. Scores.
Give it a 69.
I gave it a 71.
It's a 60.
Fair.
Next up, Eva Blunt and what was it? La Palita?
La Pálida.
La pálida.
La Palida. La Palida Blunt.
Mm-hmm.
No la pálida, la pálida.
La Pálida.
Yes.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now this. I'm going to start with the best, my favorite. Neck up. Neck up, this is literal, and I don't use that word often because literal perfection to me. Neck up. Absolutely, 100%. This hair is crazy. I love it. I'm obsessed. Because it is giving very the theme. This is giving to me Luchador with meets My Little Pony, kind of low key with the colors and with this hair, and I love that. And then the one thing that got me was the light up, not makeup, but like the light up thing that she had on the eyes. Like that is, she had that for the Selena runway as well, for the car look. And it's so cool. It's so gaggy. The actual outfit, I don't hate, but I also don't necessarily like it. I think it's fine, you know. But I do like that there's a concept, and I like the concept of them like being connected by the hair and all of that, and also knowing their story kind of makes it better. One thing that I wanted to mention is that nobody did masks, and it kind of makes sense because with the whole, like, it makes sense. We want to show the makeup, we want to see the mud, but this was my favorite alternative to the mask. It was my favorite way of framing the face out of everyone. It was this one and Lexus. I liked as well, but this, so good. But the one thing that I have to critique is Eva with the black boot kind of threw me off a little bit. That was a little strange, but other than that, best of the night.
Yeah, this.
Oh, and the white part kind of looks like a bib. No? Just me? The chest, the white chest, it kind of gave me bib, but anyway.
Well, I have to agree that this is absolutely my favorite makeover of the episode. I think it's super, super, super successful. I think the way that it was presented more than anything is really what sold it to me. The being connected by the braid was really great. And this is the kind of wig and the kind of style that I was hoping to see from Eva throughout the entire season. And so I'm happy to finally see it, because this is kind of the wigs that Eva is really, really known for, this kind of foam wigs. And so I'm really happy that we got to see it, even if it was at the very last comparative episode. I think she looks great. I think La Pálida looks also great. The makeup, you said it, the light up parts really were incredible. And I also do agree that from the neck up is perfect. From the neck down, it's fine. It's a very basic bodysuit with wings on it, but I still think for the category, it makes a lot of sense, and I cannot ask for much more out of this category than something like this. I think this is the best you can do with a category that you're given, and I think Eva did an absolutely great, phenomenal job. I love the callback to las hermanas vampiro, which we had one of them in the panel a few episodes back, and so having that, like, bringing it back, I think it's a really, really great reference, and I think she looks incredible. So yeah, it was absolutely my favorite one.
Yeah, I mean, this was the best. This was the best of anybody of this night by far, no question. Like, it was so good. The interconnectivity of the looks was really good. I do love the reference, like you were saying, because I immediately went to, oh, this is, and I didn't know until Eva brought it up, but I was like, oh, this is really giving me La Superhermana. Like, it, I was like, oh, how lovely and wonderful. And then to hear that it was an intentional reference, I loved it. I personally wish that the white part, like you were talking about, River, I wish it was a nude illusion. And I don't ever ask for a nude illusion. But
maybe yellow.
Or maybe even yellow, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the opposite color to match the wig. Like opposite pink yellow to match the wig. I think that could have done something too. But this is incredible. And scores. Like, I don't even need to say anything else.
Period. Still, I give it a 95.
I gave it a 98.
Full.
Super fair.
Mm-hmm.
So fair.
Mm-hmm.
And last up, we have Elektra Vandergeld and Madame Marty Vandergeld.
See, this one is tough because there's layers. First, I want to say the hairs, obsessed with this, like this bang part. Like, I love this hair. I want my hair to be like that. Like, so obsessed. And like I mentioned in the recap, I don't enjoy this concept that she went with necessarily, but I do like that there is a concept, even though it's not something that I enjoy. Not that I don't like vampires, because I do, but it's just for this, it didn't make sense to me. The vampire luchador mix, I didn't buy it. You know, she was selling it, I wasn't buying it. That's all. But it is a little bit simple, the actual garments, but they are so well made and they look so expensive. Like this, I don't know if it was, but it looks expensive. And it looks good. I mean, they both look really good. So I can't knock it too much, but even though there was a concept similar to Horacio, it didn't really say anything to me. It didn't tell, like, even their presentation, like I mentioned in the recap, also they seemed like they were having the least fun out of everyone. And the presentation didn't really make sense to me as well. So even though I love Elektra, I kind of agree with the results, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to see her in the finale, but like this is it was not my favorite as well.
Yeah. No.
But doesn't her makeover kind of look like Kaliuchi's a little bit?
A little bit.
On that top picture? Kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I agree with what you said. This one's very tough for me to rank because the look itself is really good. It's one of my favorites, actually. I think this look is really good and it's really well made. And it's kind of the aesthetic that I really, really like. However, the performance and the selling of it was not what I wanted to see from Elektra tonight. I think this, you said it, they looked like they were not really having that much fun. I think Elektra was really in her head about this. I think she's about to like be in the final. There's a lot of pressure. And so I think she was really in her head, and that kind of anxiety and fear kind of showed in her face. And so I just wish that she just let go and really was able to have fun with it, because if she had, I think she would have been safe. because this look is really good. It's actually might be my favorite actual look in itself, but I agree with you. It doesn't really say a lot. It doesn't really have that big of a concept. There's a concept there, but it's not like as big or as good as the one that Leexa did. And so I just wish there was more to that. But she looks great. If it was just a looks based challenge, she would be in my top. However, since the performance matters, it made sense for her to be in the bottom. So yeah, it's tough, but I think
It doesn't say anything about Elektra, right? That's the thing. I want to know her better, and this doesn't say anything about her. Maybe that she likes vampires.
I mean,
Well,
she said that she wanted to
You know?
show a different part of her aesthetic that she hadn't really shown. But I think at the same time, it's a little late to be showing like just part of your aesthetic. I think when you're like Leexa and you have something to say, it hits a lot harder. And when you have a reference like Eva, it also hits harder. So like I think there needed to be more concept there. But as I said, if it was just the look, I think she would be in my top.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to play devil's advocate because honestly, you both have said exactly how I feel about this look, honestly. So I'm not going to, but what I do want to say is in preparing for Drag Race, the girls get a lot of different runway looks. There's a very good chance that just the runway categories that they had been showing are not the darker, vampier style of looks that Elektra wanted to share. And there is the potential that there were other looks in her package that she didn't get to show that did show that darker, vampier, edgier kind of side. So I understand her wanting to do it here, and I get it. It's just a big risk for a makeover challenge to do something like that. And she took the big risk, and unfortunately, obviously, it didn't pay off for her. But I'm glad we did get to see it because based on what we saw like preseason when we did our Instagram review and throughout like the season and her wearing stuff, and even at DragCon, I will say she showed a lot more of that. So it's just one of those like, it's unfortunate, but yeah, scores.
80.
As I said, this is one of my favorite looks. So if I'm basing it just off the look, it's like a 93.
Fair. I'm going to give them a 77.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that is that. We're going to get out of here. Thank you for joining us for this Look Over Here episode for Drag Race Mexico. We will be back in 2 weeks, not next week, but 2 weeks to talk about some looks from the reunion and the finale. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Check out all of our other Drag Race coverage here on the Cut Pod, as well as all of our other YouTube channels. All those links are down in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon. I did it out of order, so my sync is out of blah, 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 blah. Audio podcast, YouTube channels, Patreon, social media, cup merch link. All those are down in the description below. Bye.
Goodbye. Sure.
Cheers.
This was a mess. Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Well,
This
Julie,
was 30
I
minutes,
just
so-
said.
Girl, a mess. Bye.
Goodbye.